bro, how are you on the bass?
Check 1, 2. They asked me to come through, and
Did you fill out the form or like? Because I know
No.
you've met Tim Ross, so
yeah, me and
Yo,
him,
boys.
we're boys.
yeah.
Like, I really, honestly, I would love to be mentored by him. That'd be like the coolest thing ever. But
Come on,
so probably about
you can start rolling it. We're just
this
gonna go.
time last year, I think it was something like that.
Mm.
Last year, I was talking to him. We were on the elevator, and I was asking him about like how he does what he does.
Yeah,
And then he was like, "Yeah, but like, you be doing, you're crazy with it." And I was like, "Yeah, but like, whatever." So at the end of the conversation, I was like, "Bro, if you just did what you do in person on the internet, your life is gonna change.
Yeah.
Like if you literally like just post consistently on social media and
Tim
doesn't
Ross
have,
is talking to you.
hmm
Tell me this.
and like literally, he was like, it kind of sounds crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, you might need to like."
Yeah.
It might need help, you know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I was like, wait, maybe, am I going to help Pastor Tim with like his social media? I don't know. So that didn't happen. He actually ended up hiring one of my friends.
Mm.
And at the same time, he had this culmination of a dream. Like, I want to start a podcast. So I said that. He already knew he wanted to do the podcast.
Yeah, and then our boy Jay came up with the art, right?
Yeah. Jay came up with the design for it. Like, but I was like, hey, this is my guy, Jay. And then they ended up getting connected, and he ended up designing it, and then they ended up doing the podcast. And they were like, hey, so like, how do we really do this on YouTube? I was like, okay, you just have to make sure that you do these couple things, and usually the algorithm will reward you for that type beat. And next thing you knew, like by that time, and I literally was like, by summertime, your life's going to change. By summertime, he had 100K on Instagram, and he did like 40K on YouTube.
Bro, we need to sit down and talk about our pod.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not as hard as you think it is.
Yeah.
A lot of it really has to do with the algorithm and reverse. It's called reverse engineering, right?
Yeah.
And then synergy. So it's like, or synergizing. So if I reverse engineer this podcast, I know I'm talking about what people want to listen to, and then I synergize it and make content for every single platform, like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram.
Yeah, we've been trying to talk about that because like right now, I think promo is like leaning heavily on just Instagram. And I have some TikToks, but it's not like, I don't think I know enough about the algo to like get it out there, but we can talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
Bro, I kind of like this episode just starting kind of free flow.
Yeah.
I'm about it. I'm going to acknowledge the people. What's up, y'all? Episode 14. We started riffing even before the episode. This man's got the oil, the sauce, all the things.
The oil also includes Aquaphor.
Sponsored by Aquaphor. Just kidding. They're not actually sponsored. I don't want to get in trouble. But my boy, the Rohn Starling, visiting the Vision Room Social.
Wow.
How
what
you
an
doing,
honor.
bro? I'm
well. It's a good day. I woke up, had a little like worship moment, music moment.
Yes, sir.
Just danced around the house, took a shower, and now I'm here.
And then you're here, bro. I'm on the pod. It's actually happening. We made it happen.
You know what's crazy? Like, we planned this. Like, you hit me up a while ago. We put on a calendar. There's a schedule.
Had to make it happen, man.
Wow, you're so organized. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Well, I'll teach you, bro. Bro, episode 14 for visionaries that have been rocking with us. You already know how this starts. The Rohn Starling, brother. Someone, you meet a stranger that you also are really good at that skill set. But they ask you, Ron, what do you do? How do you explain that concisely?
Man, meet a stranger and they ask me, what do I do? Basically, I say I help churches with their social media, and I want to help people build windows rather than walls. Yeah. Pastor Michael kind of says that all the time, where he's like, hey, on social media, it's not a wall. We're not separate from who's watching. We're actually creating a window for people to see into what God is doing in this house. Yeah. But that doesn't just apply to churches. That applies to everyone. Yeah. Everybody needs a window in order to see what's happening.
That's dope, man.
You just want to see it.
Bro, I don't think I even fully understand what you do, because I feel like you're everywhere, man. Like, this man was on the basement a couple weeks ago, but I know you work at a church, kind of.
No, I work at
You work at the church, right?
Yeah.
And then you doing like socials for yourself? Do you do it for other people?
Yeah, I do it for other people.
Yeah.
Less for myself. The whole point really is to help other people. But so I work at...
falls under this umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to say?
I work at Transformation Church,
Yes, sir.
and I am It's a small church here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and my
church.
pastor, his name is Michael Todd. If you've never ever heard of him, he's
Okay.
great.
Yes.
And what I do is I'm his content creator, so I follow him around and I make content, come up with some ideas, and
So
help him with social media.
if people see P Mike's content,
They're
like
low-key seeing-
95% of, 99% of the time.
Not 99%.
100%.
I'd probably say like 30% of it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a genius. And then we also have like another person on the team. Her name is Mima.
Yeah.
She's a genius. Like
She's
it's like,
creative queen.
yeah,
She's
no,
fire.
literally. So I think it's like when you get the right team, and you get the right people,
Yeah.
anything is possible. And I just knew that when I met her. I was like, bro, all right, cool. Like with you by my side, we could really kill this.
Quick shout out to Mima.
Yeah.
We love you.
Shout out to Mima. And then like when I got hired, I was like,
This coin.
we can
get the vendors together. We're gonna run it.
That's
and
literally
create
what it
windows
was.
left and right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a couple more vendors in the pocket.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll end up being on the team one day. But there's a couple more vendors.
We're working on some stuff.
Yeah. You never know. The thing is, like, in order to get better, you got to get bigger.
Yeah.
And like get more concise on what it is that you're doing. So it's like, okay, cool. Like let's hire some heavy hitters, and hopefully we can get stronger.
Stacking the team,
stacking
bro. It's
the
the
team
same
up.
energy. I feel like when you're playing Uno and you just got all draw four.
All
cards,
draw fours.
all
That's
draw
what it
fours.
is. You got to draw four. You got the wild. You got the like. Sometimes no, but here's the thing. Sometimes you need all fours. Sometimes you need skip. Sometimes you need reverse. Sometimes you need a +2.
This
and
man
if you
preaching
have
on the Uno
that's
cards.
what. But like for real, think about it. Like there is a solution. There is a situation in the scenario where you will lose if you just have +4s.
Yeah.
You need.
There's no way.
There is.
Oh, like if we're playing spicy Uno and then like it just falls on me drawing all the cards.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
that
I don't
can
necessarily
happen.
know what that situation
just
looks
kidding.
like, but like,
No, there is a situation. I
there
just thought
has to
about
be
it.
a
Yeah.
situation. But like at the end of the day, every single person in card is needed, and
Yeah.
they have a specific talent and gift. And if you don't actually, here's the thing: if you don't hyper focus on what that talent and gift is, you will miss out on what it is that you should be bringing to the table, because you're going to be looking at what other people are bringing to the table, and now you're stuck on insecurity when you should be stuck on your purpose. And everything moves faster when everyone is functioning in their purpose.
That's a bar, bro. So, long story short, I brought you on the pod. I feel like you have a beautiful story, man. So, I think now people see Rohn Starling. They see you everywhere, but hasn't always been the case. I met you. You lived in Las Vegas at the time. Are you from there?
I know. I'm from New York City.
New York City. Okay. Bro, pull back the timeline. Like, what happened? What brought you here? Talk to us.
Let's rewind the tape.
Yeah. Insert sound effect.
So I was born and raised in New York City.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
Which is never anyone's confession, but I didn't like it. I'm from the hood, and I was like, this is not good for me. Like I'm not like, I almost said a bad word, but I'm not for the hood, bro. I was like, I'm different.
Yeah.
And a lot of things were happening, and I'll spare you those details. If you really want to know, then ask me. But we moved to Connecticut, and I was like, this is not
Complete
okay.
opposite.
Like, complete opposite. Like, I was introduced to non-black people for the first time. I was like, what is going on? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But when I was 16, my dad was living in Las Vegas, and I just jumped on a plane to go visit him. And I got off the plane, and I was like, oh, I'm home. Like, this is my spot. Like, this is where I need to be. I knew that as soon as I landed.
Adventurous spirit, this one.
A little, I'm an Enneagram 7, you know what I'm saying? We like adventure.
Yeah.
So I get off the plane. I know I was home. I called my mom 2 weeks later, and I was like, hey, I love you, girly pop, but I'm not coming home.
Those exact words.
I called the girly pop.
Yeah.
And she hated that. That was the best but worst decision of my life, because like I made the best decision for me, but I dishonored my mom.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. But
Teenage Ron.
Yeah. 16-year-old Ron.
Yeah.
11 years ago. So I literally went to church the next day, and I was like, okay, like this is lit. Like let's run this. So I started going to church. I like loved it immediately. Shout out to youth ministry. I wouldn't be where I am today without youth ministry. But I got saved a month later, and everything changed. Like,
That's dope, bro.
everything changed. So by that time, I was questioning if I was ever creative, but I was like, I want to do something.
Did you have like, because right now you're like videographer, pictures. Were you doing that already? Like even before that, like did all cultivate in
Not
that
really.
ministry?
It kind of cultivated in that ministry.
That's
Well, it
wild,
started before, but it cultivated there.
Yeah.
So I was on YouTube when I was a kid. So
Mhm.
14, 15, 16, I was making YouTube videos because that's just what you did. Because if you rode BMX, you're like trying to make this BMX bar. Like, I want to be the
bro,
best.
I forgot you be doing
Bro,
tricks.
big part of my life. So I was doing that, and I made a YouTube video that got like 100,000 views in a couple weeks. And everyone was like, yo, your video's blowing up. Like, that's so wild. I was like, that's great. I got my first little YouTube check. It was $100. I said, wow.
From doing BMX.
They paying me, cuz.
Yeah.
I got a job. Nah, it was just $100. But
That thing was gone, like, after. Like,
I forgot what I spent it on. I'm sure I spent it on, like, something dumb, like an iPhone or something.
Yeah.
But, so, I got that check, and I was like, yo, I'm going to be a YouTube star. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And by that time I was in Las Vegas, my mom withheld my bike from me. So she was like, I'm not sending you your bike. I'm not sending you your clothes. You got to live with what you took. And I was like, Mom, what kind of mess is that? Like, just send me my clothes. She didn't send anything to me for 9 months. And I went through a growth spurt during that time.
Yeah, this man was running the same Hanes,
bro,
with the hole in it, bro.
Bro, it was so bad. And my parents over there, they didn't like have like a lot of money. So I was finessing.
Yeah.
And so she finally sent me my stuff.
King at that point.
No, it was hand-me-down boys. It was before thrifting was a thing.
Yeah.
But so I was wearing hand-me-downs. It was bad. But she sent me all my clothes. I went through a 6-inch growth spurt and none of my clothes fit. I was livid. Okay, that has nothing to do with anything, but maybe I got to go through some
back on track.
Yeah. So all that happens, and I'm fighting creativity. I don't do anything on YouTube for those 9 months because I didn't have a bike.
Yeah.
And then we had this event in my church called Creatives and Coffee. I went to that. I met this guy.
Low key plug to your small group.
Low key a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So I met this guy named Sean Cannell, and he was a pastor at my church, and he was one of the first people to ever call me creative. He was like, he looked at me in the eyes and was like, Ron, this is your YouTube.
And you were like,
bro, you're creative. Like, it felt like, you know that moment in Spider-Man where he's like, I have the, and then he like starts to walk on the walls and stuff. That's literally what it felt like.
Is that why your Instagram picture is Spider-Man?
Kind of, sort of, a little bit. He's my favorite superhero. I loved him since I was a kid.
Mine is like a two-way tie between Flash and Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Flash and Spider-Man. I wish Flash is underrated. He's arguably one of the best superheroes because he can literally slow down time.
Yeah.
But no one talks about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna make my profile picture Flash, and then we can
do it, bro.
Just save the world,
bro.
Creativity.
Let's save the world together.
Yeah, facts. So Sean calls you creative.
He calls me creative, and then I go to college. Literally, this is the dumbest thing ever. He calls me creative. I start college at UNLV for accounting the next month.
What?
I know, it doesn't make any sense.
I can't imagine. Ron
Doesn't make any sense. Granted, I'm really good with money. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I actually am really good at math. But
so you would have been killing it with the tie, rocking the 8 to 5, maybe.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I would have. I would have did it for a while until I thought it was dumb and then left.
Yeah.
But all my friends at that time went to Bible college. I went to regular college, and I was like, dang, like my best friends are going to Bible college. It's trash. Like, come on, bro. That same year, I started serving in kids ministry.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that year, I was going to do the internship. When I started the internship, they were like, hey, do you want to lead all of kids? I was like, no, I want to be a creative. Like, I want to hold a camera. And they were like, well, seems like you're called to do this. And I was like, okay. So I prayed about it. I ended up taking this job to be kids director. Took over kids ministry and got to basically do whatever. Man. It was so fun. But in kids ministry is where I learned how to do graphic design.
How old were you when that was happening?
I think I was 18.
Dude.
I'm pretty sure it was either 17 or 18. No, it was wild. Yeah. I was like, that is irresponsible that you put me.
An 18-year-old like, leading a whole department of the church.
Well, I had two higher ups.
Yeah.
But like I was the face of kids ministry. Yeah. Like I taught everything. I helped write everything. Program everything. I led all the teams. They just trusted me to do it. Yeah. But the cool thing is that there were people. Here's like a kicker about leadership. Yeah. You should let that person do it. If they ask and you can trust them, just let them do it. Yeah. They're not going to do it as well as you think that they will. But I think a true leader can stand there and say, hey, I got your back if you fall. And that was the first time that I was allowed to do something that I was scared to do, but trusted to go for it. And every time I fell, they caught me. Every single time. And it's not like I felt bad. Like this one time I ended up saying, excuse me, we did a kids game where we were basically playing Hangman, but like a really fun version of it. And the word was compass. Yeah. And I didn't think anything of it, but the first letter they did was S, and the second letter they did was A.
Oh,
so
man.
they spelled the ass on this screen, and I was like, "Take it off,
take it off,
remove it." And all the kids were laughing, and my boss
they did it on purpose.
Oh, well, I don't know if they did it on purpose,
but it's just that's the way the cards fell.
This is the way the cards fell, and the cards fell on the booty.
Really bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
And my boss was like, "You gotta like pay attention. Just before you like submit a word for this game, just know like." If it has a curse word, like if you shouldn't use words with curse words in it, it's like so don't use assassin. Yeah. And I was like, that's a good one. That's you're smart.
But it took that.
It took moments like that for me to learn and to grow and to pay attention. And that was like this really cool moment of like being creative, but then also doing ministry. I was legitimately a pastor to 10-year-olds, but like a pastor. You know what I'm saying?
That's still important, man. That's like the foundation base of the faith. Yeah,
that was you. Like, how old are you now?
25.
25. No,
I'll be 26 by the time.
26.
Yeah.
So no, it would be you would have been like on my team helping and like. But the thing is, like everyone that was 10 then, they're 20 now. Yeah. And they're like about to start. They're voting. They're like they're doing jobs.
Yeah, but the way that you managed them at that time can still impact their faith today.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So fast forward. So you're doing the kids ministry.
Yep.
And then when do you take that shift to like full time?
So this guy, his name is Tim Story. He prays over me during a service, and he like calls me on stage, and I'm like super scared because every time he prays,
everyone gets scared, bro, when they call you to the stage at church.
No, this man is different though. Like this brother, like when he would pray for you, he would do like one of these, and like you would like literally launch 10 feet. Like hey, bro, like I'm walking, you see me, my hands are up. Don't be doing nothing crazy, bro. Yeah. And
don't be calling me.
Don't be doing that. And he like kind of does this thing where he's like, "Yo, you're creative." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. And the whole room's like, "Yeah, yes. Yeah." And I'm like crying because it's weird that he knew the one biggest insecurity in me before I never said anything to him, never talked to him, never kicked it with him, nothing.
Holy Spirit, man.
And he was like, "This is going to change and shift your life." And I was like, okay, bet. And I was like, what that mean though? He was like, it's going to bring you a lot more money than you ever thought. It's going to put you in rooms that you never thought that you could be in. And it's going to shift your life. And I was like, okay, cool. Okay, bet.
You out here now, bro.
I'm out here now. The next month, I got a call from Shake Shack to make a commercial. And I was like, what? Me? I ain't never did a video in my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was just
to film it?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was crazy. So they hired me and 2 other people that I picked to fly to New York and make a commercial for Shake Shack.
So that started the whole videography journey.
Everything, yeah. And then I was like, y'all, can I just do your social media? And they're like, yeah, let's run it. You'll do social media. So I did their social media, and I did that for 6 months, and I started doing these creative videos that everyone was like, what? How do you do this? Like, what's going on? Other churches started asking me to go to their church to make content. And I was like, hey, so if I go to their church, can I like have time off? Like, can I go? And they were like, no, you need to be here on Sunday. I was like, you're right. It's kind of counterintuitive, huh? And I was like, well, can you pay me more? And they're like, no, we're not going to pay more. And I was like, I got to go. I can't do this no more. Church staff vibes. So I packed up all my bags my last day, and I remember holding my box. It kind of reminds me of that last episode of Fresh Prince. Yeah. And I look
at the empty room, bro.
So I looked at the empty office, and I said, the only other church I would ever work for is Transformation Church. And then I left.
Yeah. So fast forward to late 2019, right? I know that I guess I don't even know how you got contacted, but you got contacted and
so I left that church at the end of 2018. By that time, I was already connected to some staff members at TC. Yeah, I met them before they ended up blowing up, and I got their numbers. We would talk. I knew the social media guy before he became the social media guy, and we would talk social media. So I was like, bro, like you should be doing this. Like we could run this. And like, you ever thought about doing this? Do you have a creative small group? You should have a creative small group. So on and so forth. And when I left, and he found out, he was like, hey, bro, how you feel about Tulsa, Oklahoma? And I was like, where's that again? I don't know. And then another person,
this boy from New York, Connecticut,
bro, Las Vegas. I was like,
Tulsa.
And then I got another call like a couple weeks later from someone else on staff, and they were like, "You trying to move to Tulsa?" And I was like, No, I'm not trying to move to freaking Tulsa. I was in London at the time.
But yeah, so yeah, I was gonna ask. So what were you doing? Because you leave the church.
Yeah.
And then like it's not like you had it lined up at TC quite yet.
No.
So what was
I didn't have
doing?
anything lined up. I was free. I was
Just
freelancing.
freelancing.
And so
You're creating some dope stuff, bro.
thank you, man. I actually need to start showing people because I have so many things in the cut that I just haven't showed people. But so my first ever gig was with Sean Cannell again. He hired me to do this thing called Grow with Video.
Yeah.
Which is like a video conference that he did. I'm pretty sure I did it for free now that I think about it. Pretty positive I did that for free. Which I made so many videos. And then I just started doing whatever worked, and I started making videos with people. I didn't really do social media. I just was doing videos and photos. I was a photographer. Yeah. So I traveled.
So you were in your bag that window 2018.
Oh, bro, 2018 to the end of 2019, I traveled the world.
Yeah,
I was in everywhere. I went to India, I went to Paris, I went to London, I went to Barcelona, I went to Venice, I went to most of the states I went to Canada, I went to Mexico. I went everywhere in that 1 year. It was the best.
Bro, that's so crazy because from the moment that guy prophesied over you,
everything
not that far, not that soon after.
That was 2018. He said that in 2018.
Dude.
I switched jobs in 2018. I quit that job in 2018. In 2019,
Man. So fast forward to now, working at TC, holding it down has been
almost 3 years.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 years in a couple months.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So we're at the halfway point of the episode. Social media deep dive. I think I warned you before.
Let's run it.
So I have a picture on my phone. I'm going to send it to Nate. He's going to put it on the screen so people can see what we're talking about. I'm going to show you right now on my phone. And then you tell us the deeper picture, what was going on, time frame, yada, yada. Cool.
Are there multiple pictures? Do you have more than one?
One picture.
Just one? Okay, it's kind of fun. I want to do like multiple.
Okay. Well, I picked one. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, dude. How did you find that?
It's social media deep dive, bro.
All right, that's valid. Okay. So this is actually one of my first ever like paid like photo shoots for a brand.
Yeah.
So I was contacted by PacSun around this time in I think it was 18. Yeah, it was 2018. And I was like in this like I want to be a model bag. Like I really wanted to do
bring the dreads back, bro.
I will. I got the braids under this do-rag. I can't show y'all right now.
I met you with the dreads.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So PacSun hit me up. They're like, you have $500 to spend on whatever you want in the store.
But they just DM'd you.
I think it was an email. I can't remember if it was a DM or email.
How did they even find you?
I have no idea. None whatsoever.
Just the algorithm.
So, and that picture, that first photo set that I did, it like did the most likes ever. Like I had like 1,200 likes. I was like, oh my gosh, I've made it.
You felt like that kid with the YouTube check,
bro. It was so cool. So like they sent me all these clothes. And then I was like, I just got to do a photo shoot. And then this kid, his name is Arturo, which is actually so funny because he lives in Texas and he came to my small group a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Creators and Coffee.
Yeah, he came to Creators and Coffee.
Is it at Notion Tulsa?
It's going to be at Notion in January, yeah.
Okay.
Right now it's on my rooftop. But so this kid named Arturo took the photos and we went all over downtown Las Vegas. I changed like 3 outfits. And
I was about to ask where it was.
Yeah.
It looks like New York to me, but
oh no, that's Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Yeah, bro. So we just went around the city, took some photos, and like I literally tagged PacSun and Champion and I was like, is this the life I want to live? Like it was so freaking cool.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I found out about that because like when was this? 2018?
That was 2018.
So 2021, it was like I think Champion reshared it. And I had no idea that happened. So when I was trying to prep for this episode, I was like, man, I want to find that because I had no idea how that happened or what. I just see you completing side quests all the time. This man is everywhere. Side Quest
City, man. There's so many little things. Like I ended up doing something for Fear God. I ended up modeling for Vans at some point.
Is that something that are you still active doing that, or is that like
no,
it's
not
like
really.
A little bit of,
I don't like. I know I'm cute, but I'm not that cute. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good.
That you were prime 2018, 2020.
That was prime, bro. Like my hair was long, my skin looked good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was. I just felt
you don't got the sauce no more.
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of like, you know what? Bro, I'm gonna let the young kids do that.
The general population, we out here trying to we would be praying for a chance to model for Pakistan, but Lord had faith, bro. All that going back, that meant the prophet literally called that.
It changed my life.
He just shot it from half court, swish. Immediately from that moment, Las Vegas, traveling the world, modeling for Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. I think that same year that he's prophesied that, I ended up modeling at this thing called Complex Con in LA.
Complex?
And I met like Alexander Wang, Jaden Smith, Jerry Lorenzo. That was the first time I met Rich Wilkerson Jr.
Bro, he's a dream guest on the pod.
Bro, he's incredible. Yeah. I love that man.
I love him too.
And yeah, so it was. Here's the thing, though. When the Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue, I'm learning how serious and real that is. Mm-hmm. Because you have no idea from the things that you're saying what curses or blessings that you're actually speaking.
That's true.
And I was talking to someone the other day, and she was like, the Spirit doesn't know if you're joking or not. So if you say something, the Spirit is going to align with what it is that you say, even if it was a joke. And I'm like, ooh, Jesus. I need to be way more careful about the things that I say, and a lot more intentional, because it will literally bring life or death.
Y'all, Ron's not playing. Like, when was it? Bro, literally like 20, 30 minutes ago, he walks in here. And I'm like, bro, we out here, we're trying to do the pod. He's like, no, you're actually doing the pod. Like, so I see you correct language a lot, but it's because you're aware of it.
Wow. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. You didn't catch it. I mean, I guess it's so built into the rhythm of how your brain thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, so last leg of the pod, what are you working on now? So
a couple different things. So I just started working with Pastor Darius Daniels. I'm making some content for him.
Darius, bro, he's dope. Bro.
Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry, Doctor Darius Daniels. And then I'm currently doing a little bit of social media for Silhouette, the sneaker store here.
Yes, sir.
And then continue making stuff for Pastor Michael. And I'm working on like a couple different things. So I really want to actually, side note,
like, where do you want it?
I want to be a youth pastor. I want to pastor the youth in the city. Mm-hmm. And it's at this point, it's a God dream.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but I really feel so passionate that I want to see Gen Z spiritually, mentally, and emotionally whole.
Yeah.
Like that we know that we have power, love, and a sound mind. Yeah. Like, I think that is so important.
So have you like led, like, ever since you were the kids pastor? Have you done that since then?
I mean, like, I've spoken at youth ministries, I've spoken at conferences, and
that'd be dope, bro.
It'd be really cool.
Gen Z would benefit from your perspective.
I would hope so.
And you have access to like some of the dopest mentors, like the Tim Ross, Darius Daniels, Mike Todd, Rich. Like, bro, like, those are some dope, like, men of God in the faith. Like, they've done 100%. It. They've been doing it with honor. So I think you would. I mean,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
you have some access to some dope covering, man.
It's not even the fact of like access. Sometimes it's just gleaning.
Yeah.
In the Bible, it talks about like students and children following priests.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't even really be like in their business. They would just be around them. Yeah. And you would know who they were based on how much dust they had on them, because the priest would be walking and the students and the disciples would collect dust.
Yeah.
I'm just collecting dust.
Yeah, man.
Like, they gonna keep doing what they doing, and when I get a chance, I'll ask the questions. But man, oh man, will I collect as much dust as possible?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of this is caught and not exactly taught.
Yeah.
So, bro, I mean, I don't want to like. I mean, of course, I'm like, yo, can you mentor me? Yeah, like, that'd be great. But for now, I'm collecting dust.
Bro, when I was interning at TC, one thing P. Mike said that really impacted me, that was he sat down with the interns before we started, and he's like, one thing is, like, it's not like someone's gonna baby you and be like, this is the exact step of everything that you need to do. He's like, what you need to do is just catch it. Like, we're all running, and you gotta catch it and be, since you're around the culture. And that's what I did with like Desi and Osby and Caleb and you, like, just being around y'all. Like, it's not like you sat down and said, hey, look at this way, but just seeing the way that y'all would process things. And that's kind of what I did. So that, like, if I were to summarize my internship, literally, I think just being near that community, like, crazy creative, crazy, like, follow through, innovative.
Yeah.
I just had to catch it. And now we're out here on the pod. Wow, you're doing it, man.
Yeah.
Bro, thank you for coming on the pod.
Thank
I love you so much,
Thank
brother.
you for asking about my life and not about my gift.
Yeah, bro. I love you because you are you.
Thank you.
World's better because you're you. Return guest, maybe?
Hey, you never know,
On the
bro.
pod? You
You
never
never know.
Bro, before we leave, give people where to find you, plug your socials. Where can we find some more Rohn Starling?
Bro, if you are not already connected, go to church. Watch church online. We are Transformation. Catch us on YouTube. Transformation Church on YouTube. But me, myself, and my name is Rohn Starling with an H, ROHN, Starling on Instagram. And I would love to see you. Let's chat. Let's talk. Let's be friends. I would
And
love
TikTok.
that. Oh, yeah. TikTok too. Yeah, TikTok. TikTok is lit.
Love you, Brody.
Love you more.
Episode's done. We'll catch y'all next week.
Talking summer when I say you need the sun brings life in the night.